welcome to the first of potentially many of these podcast web shows. What?
Yeah, Tech Talks.
Tech Talks. Yeah, let's call it a Tech Talk. But due to popular demand, I mean, we've been going up on stage talking about different AI products, and a lot of folks want to see more of the different tools we've been using within the firm, Bob's firm, as well as my company. And so we're going to try and deliver a lot of value here by sharing some of these tools that we use on a day-to-day basis.
And we're going to start talking to all of you listeners just with practical advice of, it's all going to be all tech, but some AI integrations with tech, but not just law related, but things that you can use in your practice or your life tomorrow.
That's right. Honestly, we're just going to be riffing and kind of talking about the coolest products that we see on the market today. Anything related to marketing, things that would help with productivity, client communications. Like a lot of these tools are not necessarily meant for legal, but if you're creative enough, you can find a great application to the legal sphere. So,
yeah. And for those of you that don't know Ray, he's a founder in the legal tech space. They built their platform using AI. And just 31 years old, has a company worth over $500 million, just building scale, being very strategic and smart. So Ray, give us some practical. Let's talk about some, marketing tools. I know a lot of lawyers like myself do a lot of social media, Instagram, and people always tell me, "Hey, it's so hard for me to do content to then be able to purpose it and put it different places and to use it effectively on social media. Like, what do I post? How often do I post? Stuff like that." So, can you give some of our listeners and viewers some things they can be doing?
Yeah. So I've got the tool for you. And this is something that I've been struggling with too, because I've been wanting to put a lot of content out, but I just don't have enough hands. And editing, I love editing. If you actually if you follow me on my stories, I love making videos and I love entertaining folks, but it takes a lot of time to do that. But something that I came across recently was this company called Munch, right? And so the website is, I think it's like www.getmunch.com. But essentially, what Munch does is you can feed it some long form content. So let's say we feed it this episode, right? And we can give it the raw content of us, just two guys sitting here chatting about AI stuff. And what Munch does is it will go through the video, analyze, find the most engaging moments within the video, and it will start editing all these little short form snippets that it's going to be optimized for social media. So if you filmed in a landscape fashion, right, it will cut everything where it's zooming in on the person talking. And I don't know how this magic works behind the scenes, honestly, in terms of how it finds the most engaging moments, but it does a really excellent job. And I actually played with it with our previous, we did that podcast episode on AI, our company. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if we can even throw this on the screen here or play this for you, but this right here, I'm just going to play it for you. This was what Munch edited from that raw form content. So it's what you're going to see is it took the long form content, cut it up real nice, and then it added the subtitles or the captions over the video. So it's essentially what we've done is we've built AI that predicts what personal injury lawsuits will settle for. So telling my friend for the first time, because we've never talked about this, but very cool. Essentially the vehicle of which delivers these predictions, these valuations, currently is the demand package. And so we help firms basically draft super comprehensive demand packages at scale. Comprehensive meaning we calculate all of the damages. We'll cite verdicts for pain and suffering, the verdicts that are most relevant to the case at hand. So in terms of
we search even within our firm and say who has verdicts like this. Right. With this type of cervical fusion, with this type of patient to be able to quickly.
Yeah, and so using this platform, since we talked about, you introduced me to Munch, and I was on a long plane ride, and sitting on Wi-Fi, I just toggled in, and it's subscription based, which I love, and then also it asks you when you drop in. So I play with it, putting in an hour long webinar I did on spine injury cases with Gary Dordick, and I just put the link in. Not even because I didn't have the full unedited cut. I just put the link in from, I think it was on YouTube or Box, whatever, but I dropped it in. So I didn't have to put in the actual WAV file, whatever. I just put that in there, and in 30 minutes, It pulled out 30 of the most engaging clips and had you pick, what medium is this for? Do you want it for Instagram? Do you want it for, for Reels? Do you want this for LinkedIn? Because it changes the cadence. So
Right.
it also pulled out like the post with the hashtags, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was very impressed, and it's again a subscription. It was like $50 a month or something crazy.
Yeah. It is pretty wild. And like this example too, I didn't even edit. Like, so it does give you the ability to edit the captions if it was wrong, right? Like you can edit that. But this one, I didn't even have to touch it. So like a lot of captions apps that I've used in the past, like you might have to, it picks up on things. I know I have like a little bit of a lisp sometimes. So then like things don't pop up like with the right word.
Sally C. Seashells by Seashore. When I was 5, I had to go to, what's his name? Dr. Ben, something.
Yeah.
Get rid of my lisp.
I can't do
S's.
that.
I couldn't say my S's.
Yeah. So I know I have been, but like this absolutely got it accurate on the first go. And so I never tried the YouTube link upload, but that's pretty cool to know that worked.
Yeah. And then also it even tells you, it'll ask you what type of fonts you want to use, how quickly you want the words to pop up on there, which I like. I don't like when the words are so fast. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a subtitle watcher when we watch Netflix and chill at home.
Yeah. And depending on whether you chose this is like Reels, TikTok, or you want to share this on YouTube or something, it clips those, that short form content into like 7, 10, 15 second snippets. Like it will choose the most optimal times as well for like any kind of, or optimal length, I guess.
Yeah, and because it did when it shot me out 30, it was all different type of lengths. There was a long form one, short one. It's like, do you want this landscape? Do you want this vertical? Whatever that it is. But tell us that product again, just for our listeners.
That's getmunch.com. What I'm going to try and do is get a discount code for all of y'all. I'm reaching out to them, but we'll get the discount code AI Ray. By the time this is released, this code will be in effect.
Love it. Yeah, if you want slide into Ray's DMs on Instagram, you can go to justicesteamnetwork.com. We're going to put the show there to plug in any questions. Ray, how do they get that discount from you? Where do they find you?
Wow. Well, you can't really spell my last name, but we'll throw it on the screen here. But it will be at Mieszaniec. So that's MIESZANIEC. Should probably change that to make it easier, or maybe everybody can just learn how to spell my last name.
Yeah, that's probably the easier way to do it. So that's the Munch product, which just for playing with the infancy, I'm a fan with it. Do you know how old this company is? I've never heard of it until I spoke to you last week.
Literally they're brand new. They've been in operations for maybe like a year.
Wow.
They're one of like these hot up and coming startups. So doing a great job too. I think this is literally going to change the content game for all creators.
Yeah. And for all of you lawyer creators out there, I mean, you can do a podcast like we're doing right now. You can shoot an hour-long webinar. You could do all this and just literally put it into their platform, and it'll pull the clips for you and can post it straight out of there. Fact check it and the stuff to make sure that's what you want and the copy and that the words are what you want to put out there. But I mean, it just allowed you to really scale your platform.
That's right. Does it in like 20 minutes.
So what else do you have for us on? Let's start with, stay on the marketing social thing. I think there was another product that we were talking about that's more specific to LinkedIn, because again, that's a different animal.
Yeah, there's this really cool company. This was actually referred to me or shown to me by my friend. They're a VC, and essentially they were looking, for tools that would help enable them in terms of thought leadership on LinkedIn. Coming up with the right topics to kind of talk about in the space and see if there's anything trending. What they found was more than that. So the company here is Taplio, Taplio. Really cool. Basically, long story short, if you've ever
back in my younger days, when we were in the clubs in LA, we used to have to tap Leo. To get Leo DiCaprio out of the club. So yeah. Come on, man, tap Leo. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. So with Taplio, all you got to do by using Taplio, it helps you become a LinkedIn influencer. So I know we were talking about identifying trending topics, but it also helps you write, post, and engage with your audience. So write that content, post that content, and then engage with the audience that interacts with your content. So
I mean, that's crazy.
they've got a lot of really cool things here. The wild stuff is like in that research kind of part of it, it will pull like the most. So you can search up like personal injury.
Like what's trending too.
Yeah.
Wow.
You prompt it, like you can search just like a regular search engine. You could be like, personal injury, and then you could see what people are posting within this space. And then what you can do is it will show those post inspirations. You can even like click on those posts and like edit it, paraphrase it, and repost.
You mean plagiarize it?
Yeah, plagiarize it.
I say that because he's Ray's wearing his Adidas garb. Reminds me of some Run DMC back in the day.
Yeah.
I see your Air Force Ones down there too.
Just trying to keep it real, you know.
There you go.
But yeah, that's not a feature I've used in particular. I like to come up with my own content, but that is a feature that could probably be really.
Yeah,
really,
but I always say for these platforms, it can get you 80-90% of the way there.
correct.
It just helps you come up with. I mean, on this one, use it to see what's trending, get out there to get the most engagement from it, and then you can clean it up and put it to your style. But this should be able to learn your cadence, right? Like speak like you.
That's right.
Okay.
So what's cool about this too is so once let's say you want to write your own topic. So based on the inspiration that you've kind of looked at, you want to write like 13 things that I learned by the time I was
13
30.
things I hate about you, or it was 10 things I hate about you.
I don't even know.
Heath Ledger, you remember that? You were just a kid.
Yeah, I was a wee little baby. But yeah, no. So you could write something like 10 things I learned by the time I was
And that's
30,
TAPLIO, TAPLIO.
Yeah, and essentially, it can generate that content for you, just in the same way that ChatGPT would have like generated some content for you. Let it do the first pass, you edit it, and then the way it formats things is like, you know, that weird, that LinkedIn storytelling, like it's so dramatic. Here's a space.
Here's one sentence, ... Click to open up the whole thing.
Yeah, like I gave $1 to a guy sitting on like.
What is the rest of this? Let me click on the box.
And then it's like, I was rushing to an interview, gave $1 to this homeless guy, like sitting on the street.
So
and then that homeless guy was the guy.
Why wouldn't I just go to ChatGPT like I can go to Chat On right now and say, hey, write me a LinkedIn post about legal influencing and some things to look out for?
You probably can, but the thing is, honestly, you probably can use ChatGPT. I haven't experimented enough. Like there's plagiarism tools that we could use to kind of see whether the content that is actually being produced here is heavily run by like, ChatGPT.
I actually sent it to you.
There's like things like ChatGPT 0 and stuff like that you can run.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother about this the other day. Whenever you're looking at, whatever, I'll look for it while we're talking here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's called Plagiarism Checker. So you can go to Surface SEO, and then you can run Plagiarism Checker just to make sure. For all you students out there in law school, make sure you run that Plagiarism Checker before you turn in your legal briefs, your legal research and writing brief.
That's right. But yes, so anyone who wants to be a LinkedIn influencer, check this out. Another really cool tool that's kind of related to basically generating content for the purposes of marketing. There is this last one here, Jasper. So Jasper,
JASPER.
That's right, JASPER. Jasper is like ChatGPT. However, the data that it is trained on, so the contextual data that it uses to generate this content, is all of like, the high performing, high quality marketing content that's out there in the space today. So it's that's what the models are trained on. And so when you do prompt it to create something, and you can load in things that like are specific to your brand. So you're like really just loading in those preferences of how you want your brand to come off through the messaging. It can take that, and then it will optimize all of this copy and this messaging to be high quality and effective, for the purpose of, organic social media posts or like ads.
Well, how do you give it your Instagram handle and some other copy and stuff that you've done to learn who you are to speak like you, or how does that work?
There's a lot of different kind of little toggles that you can play with in terms of like what are your goals and in terms of generating this content, and then there's like this whole profile page like where you have to kind of build out your brand.
Very cool
on Jasper. And so
what I found like while the Chat On these other features is I curse a lot and say some things, and Chat-on does not allow me. It says, "Sir, this is like a PG, like AI. Please do not do that." Well, Jasper spruced it up a bit. Did you check it out?
I actually don't see, because I never curse in my captions or anything like that. But I mean, I've never tried it.
Interesting.
I find that most of them don't like to swear. The AI does not like to swear.
Ooh, I don't trust the AI that don't drink or swear. I like this, Jasper. I haven't tried this one. I'm going to try it.
Jasper's cool. So that's going to help marketing teams, like especially if you're growing your firm and you've got like a small team, or you're just doing this yourself. This literally helps you create that content super fast, easy, and deploy it off of multiple channels.
So we know the 3 products that we've talked about today. So Munch AI, Get Munch, we know that it's subscription based. Well, do you know what Jasper and then Get Leo or Tap Leo is?
Yeah, so
all subscription.
All of them are subscription based. All of them have month to month availability. Like that's what I use. So yeah, you can try it out month to month, and wherever we can, AI Ray and Bob, we'll try and fish the best discount codes that we can get from these folks. But
yeah, and for our listeners out there and viewers, I personally have the luxury of tapping Ray. I tap AI Ray over here on a product that I've came across to see if he and or his engineers can help vet it to see if it's real AI or not, or if it's just somebody white labeling ChatGPT, which we see a lot.
That's right.
It's all as smart as whatever that it's taught on. So we know all 3 of these are subscription. They could reach out to get more information. Have you used all 3 of these yet? I know you've used Munch, because I have too.
I have.
Okay.
I have. I've played with all 3 of these. So it's actually really, really awesome. So Jasper, our team's using it. Taplio, I've used it personally myself, and I think it's just crazy how powerful it is. It's actually just crazy creepy too, in terms of how you kind of see it working in terms of pulling post inspirations. But I highly encourage anybody who is trying to be like a LinkedIn influencer, and I think this is huge for if you're trying to make a name for yourself in like spine injury cases,
correct,
or a
niche.
TBI.
Yes. Yeah. If you have a niche as a lawyer, which you all should be doing, the more that you're talking about your niche, that you're a specialist in it, whether you really think you are or not, don't be an imposter syndrome with it. But if you have a voice, I was telling Ray before we went on here, I get so many cases through social media, which is essentially free marketing here, subscription-based marketing tools, that you can really have a voice, and you don't have to compete in the SEO game, the advertising game that we're seeing people pay millions of dollars a month. You're paying a $50 subscription. You're shooting some content and putting out on social. And our ROI as lawyers, I mean, my firm usually does 7, 8 figure, 9 figure cases only. But that one call that comes in a month from content that we do, that pays for like 5 years.
Yep.
So.
And people aren't going to learn about you're a genius in any particular subject matter unless you put yourself out there and kind of show the world what you know. So again, put away that imposter syndrome. We all have it. I will admit, even I feel that. And so, just put it out in the world, and you'll be surprised to see what comes through.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to our first law. What do you call this? Tech talk show.
Tech talk. It's our first tech talk, and we'll be back at you with some more tools next time.
Yep. Any questions? Go to justicesteamnetwork.com. Find us on socials. We'll answer anything and get you those discount codes. Thanks, Ray.